What's happening, YouTube? I'm Packnosis, and welcome to the first of many Texas Chainsaw builds. So this build revolves around the collecting of blood and pressuring victims when you get the chance, but really the main goal is to level up Grandpa as fast as possible. But to start, we'll go through her ability called Bane. The first level allows you to blow clouds of poison in the path of victims to block their paths or lace their useful items. For the first upgrade, I'm going with the cloud duration to get it up to 50 seconds. And 50 seconds is a very long time, considering how small some of the spaces are, where you're going to be chasing people. Where you're going to be putting the cloud will usually be in any of the tight spaces, the crawl spaces, any of the wells or ladders. And doing that will allow you to mark the victim for you and your teammates. So that leads me to the second upgrade. With the second upgrade, we're going to increase the poison duration that affects the victim, getting that up to 13.5 seconds, marking them for you and your team. So while you're chasing them, they also have the potential to run back into the cloud. They can actually re-poison themselves by running back through your original cloud and marking themselves once again. And for the third upgrade, I would go with the poison electronics. That way you can effectively be more objective based, being able to poison the car batteries and the generator. If you don't want to go that route, you don't have to. The other option would be toxic cloud for a little bit of extra damage. I wouldn't really bother doing the other poison locations, given that, the bone scrap piles and the toolboxes aren't that sought after from what I've seen playing the game, so it doesn't really make sense to go for that one. Now for the perks, I have Universal Donor for my first perk, increasing the blood collected from each bucket by 40%. Having this perk equipped with Sissy allows you to get a full level and about a third for Grandpa off of 4 blood buckets alone. So if you're quick enough, you may even be able to get that full level before the survivors even wake Grandpa up. And if you can do that, that'll give the location to Leatherface when they're down in the basement still trying to get out of that. For the second perk, I'm using Blood Runner. By level 3, it'll reduce the amount of stamina consumed by 15% while you're over 50% of your blood vial capacity. And that, coupled with Universal Donor, allows you to get to that 50% threshold with about 2 blood buckets. Or if you only have one, a couple hits on a survivor, or even if you get a long enough chase and you can get enough good hits in and maybe even get a kill, you can get to that 50% and then have 15% reduced stamina, which is huge. For the third perk, I'm using Unrelenting to get an extra 7 points of endurance, and I'll go into that a little bit more when we get to the attributes and how I allocated them. But the endurance increase coupled with the 15% reduction is huge. Using these 3 perks together, you can chase and kill almost all the victims solo, and at the end of the day, endurance is key in this game. Being able to chase down a victim and get a few slashes in without having to worry about running out of stamina and getting stuck and potentially losing the chase, it's huge, having those extra points. For Grandpa's perk, I'm going with Always in Sync. So with Always in Sync, it allows you to increase the duration of family focus and reduce its cooldown time. I'm not sure exactly how much it actually gets reduced, but it is helpful being able to keep track of objectives, where your teammates are, and it helps find the actual blood buckets, especially early. Sometimes I have trouble keeping track, but it's good to be able to find the rotation so you can consistently get the blood buckets and get your blood vial up. For the attributes, I kept Savagery at its base of 10. You really don't need that much attack power, especially if you're running into victims that are already injured. But even then, with the amount of endurance that you'll have, especially if you're keeping your blood vial above 50%, you're not really going to need that much more damage per attack. Blood Harvesting, I maxed that out with skill points, just to get the amount of blood that you can carry at once to its max without having to use an extra perk. It's really helpful in getting Grandpa up to level 5 quickly. And again, with just four full blood buckets, you're at max capacity, and that equates to about a level and a third XP for Grandpa. And for endurance, I put the last 11 skill points that you get from the skill tree into it to get it up to 39, and with the 2 extra points of getting Unrelenting to level 3, it would cap it out at 41. And having that high endurance and being able to reduce the consumption by 15% if you're at 50% or more of your blood vial. Chasing a survivor you're gonna be able to chase survivors longer, get out more slashes before you run out of stamina, and potentially secure more kills. Alright, so now I'm gonna throw in some gameplay just so you can see what the build looks like.
I can show these children the way. I know I can. Good, ain't it? There, it's all right, Grandpa. Don't hide, sugar. That's no fun. How does that feel? Oh, sugar. Does that hurt? I am sorry it had to come to this. They'll be loving me soon enough.
Alright, that does it for the build. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know in the comments what you thought and give any tips on what could change. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.